am not alone as we commemorate the World Day for Safety and Health at Work with the theme, ensuring safety and healthy working environment is a fundamental principle and right at work. And I have someone with me who is a professional par excellence. She is the pioneer DG and CEO of the Lagos State Safety Commission, a senior administrator and entrepreneur. She was a conformity assessor, rather still is, IRCA certified ISO lead auditor, and she strides across several standards. She is the chairman of Saffron, which is about safeguarding of children, a contributor to the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team Child Protection Policy document used by the Ministry of Justice. She offers expert advice on food fraud cases for the Global Incident Alert Network in the USA. And I'm going to be asking her, do they still Gary in the US? I want to know. And she is also the principal consultant at her 35-year-old global safety standard, global safety company, Safety Plus Engineering, Africa's OEM distributor for PPEs, a one-stop safety solution provider. Ladies and gentlemen, if I continue with this intimidating profile, Iliashu Iliamo, you know how they say it in our language, they say it will be dark, it will be light again. So Lagos, join me in welcoming Omolara Dominga Odebunmi. Round of applause.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming today. It is awesome having you here. And the first thing you're going to do for us is to greet all our listeners in your lingua franca. So we don't know whether you come from Lagos, the Mimi Pin people. Mimi Pin. We don't know whether you come from Abeokuta. Wherever you come from, please, can you greet my listeners in your own indigenous lingua franca? You know, Executive Order 5 is here now. We have to consume local.
True.
So let's start from here.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, let me start from Yoruba first of all, and then I will take it to the origin of where Dominga comes from,
which looks like Sierra Leone. We'll try go.
Okay. Well, listeners of Safety Train.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you and connected to this beautiful program. Yes, good afternoon to every listener and those who will be listening later.
Okay.
And of course, I want to say to the female, obrigada. And I want to say to the male, obrigado. That is Portuguese.
Wow.
Greetings.
Okay.
Ekason. We have to bring it back home.
Back home now.
Yes.
Yes, so home is
Inakwana. Dalu. Thank you, everyone up there. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So, obrigado and obrigada. We learned a new one today. Now, we would like to talk about a workplace culture that prioritizes safety. And it appears as if it's not just about policies, hanging out that extract work and safety policy, as you see in factories. They will just see it on the wall. But is it really in the DNA of people? That is what we would need to discuss today, because our topic is creating a safety-first workplace culture. What does it take? So my first question is, what does a safety culture mean in any industry? Let's start from the basics.
Thank you. I'm happy you mentioned the word DNA, because as you were talking, I was reflecting in my mind, and I was thinking we really want to start with this safety first culture, but apparently where we would like to end that and take our people is to have a DNA of safety culture. So really you've made it easy for me. What we're saying around that is that safety first culture in any establishment, any industry,
Exactly.
Whatsoever, should really be focused on the health and safety of employees, the clients, the stakeholders, and it should be prioritized above business objectives. They say so, but I don't know how, CEOs of those establishments would really like to have that. So basically, protecting people should come first.
Okay.
Not just a short-term goal.
Beautiful. So safety of people should come first, and ideally we should prioritize health and safety even above business goals. So I just wanted to emphasize that so that we don't lose the key takeaways today. Now let's go on to what I would call a chicken and an egg kind of question. Who should take the lead in promoting workplace safety? Is it the management or the employees?
Oh,
which comes first?
Typically, it has to come from top down.
So management.
Top management. In fact, not just management, top management. And for example, in Lagos State, for example, when the commission was going to be established, it was the governor that had to take the bull by the horn, and he took responsibility of whatever it is. So the laws that governed that. So if we liken that to any establishment,
should be
it's
right
the policy, isn't it? Who signed it? It was the governor that signed the gazette, the law.
The law.
So the CEO should own it, and then he can pass it down.
Again, at the time of COVID, you remember the governor was the commander-in-chief. He was like the incident commander.
Absolutely.
So taking responsibility for health and safety, just as you've said, Dominga Odebunmi, is about top management.
Absolutely.
Making that step and owning this particular aspect of any industry. Now, how can employees be integrated into a safety-first mindset? Because we have a culture here of being my brother's keeper means covering up. If somebody has done an unsafe act, you'll find out that the others don't want to rat, and there's this culture of, kind of burying what could end up being quite dangerous. So how do we delete that kind of mindset and create a safety first mindset right from the person who is a JJC entering that factory from day one? How do we inculcate that safety first mindset?
That comes in two aspects now. You've spoken about the employers themselves. I beg your pardon, employees themselves.
Yes.
Which tells me that they've been there for a while.
Some have been, and
but in particular, the focus now is the new employee.
New entrants.
Now, this new employee naturally could pick bad habits, from existing employees. But the question is that how do we help them to integrate into that safety first mindset? Okay. Let's take it from the interview. Just before they enter into an interview, there's something called safety climate. Climate is different. Climate is just really where you fair weather. What do you see first?
Exactly.
Do you get it? So a lot of organizations, typically, sometimes they might have just a safety climate, but they're not actually working the talk. Okay, so you enter into a place, or before you enter, you're seeing so many signages. You see where here, safety
no
first.
hard hats, no
entry.
entry.
And then you enter. You find
somebody drove without seatbelt.
So really, it starts from there to be able to integrate that new employee. Let's not send a wrong. Let's not send a good information and bad practice.
So don't let's send good information with all the signage, all the signed workplace health policy, and then bad practice.
And so of course, they could also add it into the person's induction. It should be part of the induction. It should also, the policies on HSC should also be part of the evaluation post probation. You know, there is usually a probation for a new employee.
Yes, that's right.
So it doesn't usually come as part of the evaluation,
Which is a pity.
it should be part of
Part
it.
of the evaluation. Can I digress a little? But first, we might have to take a safety update.
All right, Lagos, you're tuned to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and the program is Safety Train this afternoon with Fayo Williams. Let's quickly tell you that from Mushudi, we have a report of a fallen truck at Toyota in Mile 2. Traffic managers are there. Men of the Nigerian Police Force are also there from Aswani, a division. There is no casualty. Let's keep it that way while they do their jobs. Please obey them and stick to your lanes. Slowly but surely, you will get to your destination.
Thank you very much, Taiwo. And thanks for staying tuned to the Safety Train on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name remains Fayo Williams, and this beautiful Tuesday we are talking about creating a safety-first workplace culture, and we are asking, what does it take? With me, I have the pioneer DG of the Lagos State Safety Commission, by name Omolara Dominga Odebunmi, and we have been having an awesome discussion. So my next question to you, which is making me digress a bit, is that all the big international companies, you have safety signs, you have safety practices, you have PPEs, the OEM type of PPEs with wings and stuff, all supplied. But I am talking about the welder at the corner, the akara seller, that SME who is hustling in the market. How can such an SME imbibe the health and safety culture and promote that safety first, even in their own micro environment?
Amazing. You know,
Yes.
it's so interesting. I'm quite excited, and I'm sure our listeners will feel that from the voice. You see, SMEs, and this is the larger community that we have.
They provide
compared
50% of all the
of
GDP
employment.
and the 80% of employment.
Exactly. So based on that, the reason why I'm excited is because we felt that that's been on the radar for a lot of safety consultants. That how do we carry them along and let them own it? Because if they're able to own it, then it spreads a lot faster. And so Safety Plus came up with something which we've been working on for a while.
Okay.
Because we looked at the issues around, we looked at the obstacles of language barriers,
yes,
obstacles of I'm not educated, so we say a lot of Turenji,
It's
when
grammar.
we're talking about
It's
safety.
grammar.
So we came up with something that will make it a lot easier for them. And that was actually launched on the 28th of April.
Oh, I see.
Yes, this month, called Paddy. Ask Paddy.
Okay.
It's really to solve everybody's quest around safety. Look at it from this
plug
point.
it in.
Nobody wants to die.
Needlessly. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die.
And naturally, there are a lot of things that we face. There are a lot of issues that go around that if you're not used to it, if your eyes are not sharpened to pick hazard, that's why you find that safety personnel comes into a place and the first thing they see are the hazards all around.
Pool of water.
And then they're asking you,
wire. What happened?
please, don't bring bad omen here. But really, it's not about that. It's about just it's already being part of. So we want to get all the SMEs
to
to that level
where they can be a safety champion.
Absolutely.
Where they can identify hazards and close out as
Absolutely.
much as they can.
So Paddy is, if you look at it, Paddy sounds like
a
my
friend.
Paddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. You just got it.
AskPaddy.com. Okay,
That's it.
so let's see how that goes. That is awesome. And SMEs, you've heard it from Dominga Odebunmi. AskPaddy.com to help you to close out any questions that you might have. And you can join us in this discussion by calling 0809 9120777. You can send a WhatsApp message to that number, or in the alternative, you can dial 091 53 877127. So join us, ask your questions while Dominga Odebunmi is in the studio. So let's just go on to the next question. And it's about how can organizations keep safety from becoming a background noise? Because they can shout safety from the rooftops at times. So there are organizations you go to that you have to do safety exam before they even let you through the gates. So, it's all kakarakaka. Now, safety in ball, safety new. Aha. But beyond that noise, how can organizations avoid it becoming just noise and not practice, really?
Well, like we said, it needs to be included in the evaluation at every point in time.
Okay.
And the employees should not be in any position to be afraid to report fractions or violations or things that are hazardous to themselves.
That brings me to, another rider. How can employees be empowered to speak up about unsafe practices? Because I tell you, if I report my Oga go sack me. That is what they will think about. So what are the whistleblower or whatever? How do you protect an employee who wants to speak up about unsafe practices? Can you take that along with this question?
With that question, yes. It's a lot. It's easier. It's actually easier now in the days of social media.
Oh, yes. You can just go and drop DM there with one funny name that nobody can ever trace to you.
That's it, really. And you see, if that happens, the Oga should know that this employee is doing them a favor.
They will not think of it like that. Oh, they want to return that employee to the village. I tell you.
And another angle could also be, which is the area that we need to also teach employees to be empowered, is the way they communicate whatever the issue is. It's not a blame game. In safety, it's a continual improvement.
Oh, yes.
So don't come forward to your employer and start making demands to exactly. So really, things can't improve if you come in with accusations.
Exactly.
But if you have a right mindset and you have the right approach,
then
of course they would listen.
Something can be done. All right, beautiful. So I just had something here about technology again and how can it support or actually hinder workplace safety. So for the support, I would remind our listeners of askpaddy.com. This is just a friendly platform for you to get information. So that's why we're disseminating this, now and again, reminding you to type in ASK. That is Ask. Paddy is PADDIE. Paddy.com. Okay, askpaddy.com.
That somebody said, ask Paddy.
Ask Paddy. That is nice. Askpaddy.com. So that is a technology support. But when it comes to hindering, I have a lot to say about that. People who are on their mobile phones while driving, people who overuse, they are overexposed to the screen. You can tell us more about it. How has technology become a barrier to workplace safety?
Well, you've just hit the nail on the head. Yes, I mean, it can be a distraction to safe living. But as we move further into development of technology and digitalization, we see that the benefits are outweighing the negatives.
Okay.
As we gradually improve. Because let me tell you, Fayo, the point is technology has come to stay.
There is no shortcut.
There is no shortcut.
If you want to go somewhere now, if you don't use Google Map, you go lost. So
exactly. there was a video I saw. I think it was on askpaddy.com actually. It was sent out as an alert because Paddy on that page will be sending you different information as well to
very
be able to empower you. Very informative. And I saw that video. The woman was actually suffering a stroke and she didn't realize it. Very fit, person. And by the time she fell to her, she fell off, her phone was far away from her, so she couldn't really reach out to the phone. And then all of a sudden, I think it just dawned on her. And what did she do? She just said, Siri, call 911.
My gosh.
And that was it.
That was it. And
That
she
was the
probably
saving
was
grace.
saved.
Yeah, because she couldn't get up.
Oh my gosh.
We're not calling Siri
We're
right
not
now.
calling Siri right now.
But Siri is answering us. Oh dear.
Oh my gosh, this has just played itself out.
Absolutely.
This is technology.
That's what it is.
This technology in action. And that is awesome. So remember, we speak about the ICE numbers.
Yeah.
Make sure you save ICE in case of emergency. Have the numbers of your loved ones, your spouse, your children, your older children, so the people can get help when you need help. So technology is here to stay. We're in the 21st century. There are no shortcuts. Just use it positively and make sure it does not become a distraction to you, particularly in the workplace. So how do you measure the success of the Safety Culture Initiative? Can you mention some basic matrices? Because I'm an SMU, I don't want to be doing LTI, Kiniko, big grammar. So just some basic things that I can measure and feel good that I'm hitting the targets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as an SME.
Yes, as an
because
SME.
you can see that I wish our viewers I beg your pardon, our listeners
can
could actually see us, because we were actually, maybe online, they might be able to see us smiling.
Oh, there's a YouTube channel. Lagos Traffic Radio has its YouTube channel.
Yes, so go on Lagos Traffic Radio, YouTube channel, and go and see us smiling.
Oh,
it's very infectious.
Yes,
safety is
infectious.
Anyway, so for the SMEs, for them to be able to measure, well, maybe before the SMEs, obviously government had to use what you would call, or some form of survey, some form of statistics.
That's true.
And of course, establishments have the LTIs, like you said. They also have tools of measuring. And guess what? PADI is going to be, I'm sorry I'm going to mention PADI a lot, because it's solving a lot of issues for
right now,
especially everybody on the road, anywhere.
Oh, good.
It's going to develop tools that would help them to just put their habits in easily, so they can see themselves instantly that I didn't do that well. I'm not scoring myself
high.
well. Let me correct myself.
Let me correct.
People don't like to be corrected, but when machine corrects you, this is unbiased.
Yes, so they can't mess it. Do we have any questions from there online? Okay, we do. Okay, hello. Is it a call? Oh, I missed it. We missed it. Apologies. Let me quickly slot this in. Taiwo, can we just go ahead and round up? Okay.
All right, let me quickly read out the message here. It says, hello, Traffic Radio. Good of you talking about safety. My question about PADI, what of people who do not speak English language? This is from Laide Akono.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice question.
Well, we just called it. What did we say earlier on? We said, ask PADI. As Yoruba now, as PADI.
My person.
Yes, my personal person.
So,
yeah.
Does
so
it
that
switch?
answered. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does. It will answer to
Yoruba,
Pidgin English, all these
awesome.
various. Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. So you got that answer, and we are at the home stretch by looking at asking Dominga or Odebunmi, can you give us some examples of simple daily actions that can help reinforce safety?
Okay.
In 30 seconds.
Oh, well, actually, I'm happy you said daily
actions. Yes, we want to make habits.
So we're going to start from home very quickly. And because they say that Ile Latinke Shoro,
we
so
say
if you are safe within your home environment, you're likely to carry that habit to wherever you go. So let's take it straight from there.
Yeah.
Your bathroom, slippery tiles. We have to be very careful. Water and slippery tiles don't mix. So please make sure. A lot of fatalities have happened in the bathroom.
True.
So it's about domestic safety that we are talking about
now. Okay.
Whether you have children, you have elderlies, put rails. The vulnerables put rails around. Okay. So in a nutshell, when you get to the workplace, those kind of tips. First of all, don't allow noise to become a practice around you, because you are
As if
blocking.
it's normal.
You are blocking your ears.
It's not normal.
So and then at work, or when you're going on the road, please, as much as possible, use safe areas when you're walking. Don't just cross anyhow. And if you are driving, be patient. Don't have road rage. You don't have road rage.
Don't bring the anger of Mama Sikira and come and bring it on the main road.
Yes, because road accidents is quite huge for us in Lagos. So the workplace safety is really doing well, but I must hammer on that aspect, and that's part of why Traffic Radio is here.
Beautiful.
To nip it in the bud.
Thank you. What an awesome place to rest the discussion this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It has been a pleasure hosting Omolara Dominga Odebunmi, the Pioneer Director General and CEO of the Lagos State Safety Commission. Madam, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And this program has been brought to you by Reply Supply Limited, providers of first aid boxes and training. For brand promotion on radio or access to our services, you can dial 0818 1313156. Let me take that again. 0818 1313156. My name remains Fayo Williams, at Fayo Williams across social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Till I come your way again next week, it's via con Dios, which means go with God. Thank you for YouTube runners.